Today's video is sponsored by Warby Parker. How's it going, my peeps? Welcome back to the channel for another collection of TikTok tests that are so viral they will be having you asking yourself, what am I doing wrong in life? Why did so many people watch these videos? It is mind-numbing how many views some of these videos get, regardless of how simple they are, but at least we have somewhat of an appetizing slate of different courses for us to try today. For breakfast, with a total of 24 million views, we will be making Gordon Ramsay's vegan bacon, served alongside some eggs en cocotte and some crunchy ciabatta toast. For a little lunch hors d'oeuvre, we will be making some Halloween-themed spooky deviled eggs, which, by the way, racked in over 20 million views. And then to top everything off for the main course today, we have Emily Mariko's salmon rice bowl, totaling 65 million views at the time of this recording. Let's just hope all these recipes come out tasting good, at least, and let's get right into this one. We are starting on a good note, being that these are all pretty quick. We're gonna be able to cook and eat all of these in one day, unlike some of the other recipes that I've been testing on the channel recently. But before I can get started with any of them, I gotta give a shout out to my friends over at Warby Parker. Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores, offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, eye exams, and contact lenses. Their glasses, including prescription lenses, start at just $95, which is insane, but they also offer sunglasses, progressives, and blue light filters as well. One of my favorite features about Warby Parker is their online quiz and the ability to choose 5 different frames to try at home for free, which I obviously did and probably had a little bit too much fun with. They ship them to you for free, you've got 5 days to try them on, and there is no obligation to buy. You'd be shocked by the quality of these things. For starting at $95, I was honestly not expecting them to be as good as they were. So click the link in the top line of the description and go to warbyparker.com/Seymour to try their free home try-on program. Pick out the 5 frames you'd like to try. Remember, the shipping is free. They include a prepaid return label. And save money on your new favorite pair of glasses today. Okay, back to business. I figured it would make the most sense to start with breakfast today. More specifically, Gordon Ramsay's vegan bacon. You will need some soy sauce and garlic powder, sriracha and nutritional yeast, rice paper wraps and maple syrup, some pepper and cayenne pepper, vegan butter, firm tofu, some water, and some smoked paprika. I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty certain this is the first Gordon Ramsay TikTok we have tried. I know this guy probably has an entire team of people helping him, but it doesn't matter what social media, what TV platform, what TV show this guy tries or touches, it is a success almost every single time. It's crazy. I wonder what his net worth is, by the way. With his amount of like TV shows and restaurants around the world, he's gotta be one of the highest grossing chefs of all time. But I'm getting off topic a little bit. We're talking about vegan bacon, which I am genuinely excited to try. I can't imagine this tasting bad with the amount of spices and different flavors that are gonna be in here. Thank God I was able to find an actual written recipe on his website, because without that I would have been going in completely blind. You want to cut your strips of the rice paper spring roll wraps about 1.5 inches thick, about the same width as your average piece of bacon. You want to bake them at 375 degrees for 10 minutes on one side and then flip them over for another 10 minutes. All in all, I'd say this took me about 1.5 hours, and obviously a lot of that time is just me playing with the camera, so it would take you even less. And I'm not entirely sure what to think yet. I would say the overall aroma of these is almost barbecue saucy, which I have no idea how, because there's no tomatoes or ketchup or sugar really anywhere. But I set those off to the side for now to work on the second half of my breakfast course, the eggs en cocotte. You will need some heavy cream and salt and pepper, butter and fresh chives, Boursin cheese and lots of eggs, and then some kind of crusty rustic bread, either a sourdough or like I'm using a ciabatta. When I watched this video with how like creamy and rich this looks, I just immediately started drooling every time I saw it, which I don't know what that says about me based on how this looks. But either way, I am excited to give it a try today. A couple of notes here. Instead of ramekins, I'm using these brown French onion soup bowls because they're the only oven-safe vessels I have with lids that go with them. And I'm pretty sure this is a Boursin cheese, even though it doesn't say it on the package. It's a fresh French cheese with herbs and garlic made from milk and cream. I'm pretty sure Boursin is just one of the brands or the original brand that makes this. So we should be good with this knockoff variety today. Unfortunately, I could not find a written recipe for this one, so I'm just gonna go out on a limb and guess that we're gonna bake this for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just don't forget the water bath to make sure it bakes super gently, and then just toast up whatever bread you're using. These recipes have a lot to live up to. Let's see if they earned all the 24 million views that they have. Right off the bat, this whole plate smells awesome. From the chives, the buttery toast, all the spices, and the bacon. Speaking of which, let's give it a try first. Nothing about this is bad, the taste or the texture. I don't mind either one of them. I'm just confused because it's a very alien piece of food. It's just kind of like falling apart into its individual components. I like the crisp exterior. I don't mind the soft tofu. It's very spicy, which is strange. I don't know. I finished that whole piece, but if somebody just handed me that and said, what is this? Not only would I not think it was bacon, I don't even think it was a vegan replica trying to be bacon. It's not bad though. Moving on to the main component. I don't know how to show you this again without dumping everything onto my lap. There we go. Let's see what we're working with here. Looks very good. Oh yeah. This is awesome. I love everything about this. I love the way the bread is cut, how it's perfectly dippable. I love all the flavors in here, even with the egg that is cooked to hell. The cheese in this is excellent as well. I think that's probably what is making the entire thing for me. I would say it's very similar physically to a creme fraiche in texture, but obviously with the added flavors of the garlic, the herbs. It's really good. Definitely worth the hype. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this while you watch everything else. For the second course of the day, the hors d'oeuvre portion, we will be making some Halloween-themed spooky deviled eggs. You will need a whole lot of eggs and some mayo, yellow mustard and an avocado, lemon, water, and that's it. We'll address the elephant in the room in a couple of minutes, but for right now, I just want to focus on getting these cooked up properly, getting them dyed. I went for about a 10-minute cook time on these. I figured that would be about perfect, since when I make soft-boiled eggs for breakfast, I go for about 7 minutes. Is it possible to overcook a boiled egg? Actually, somebody can answer that in the comments, because honestly, I'm not sure. At least for this purpose anyway, because once you've got them cooked up, you have to manually crack the entire shell. I don't know how else you would crack a shell, but... And then, again, because there's no instructions, I'm gonna guess that they went with some dark purple food coloring and gave it about 20 minutes or so in the dye. That's about how long it takes to dye Easter eggs, anyway, but that was not good enough, nearly. I ended up adding a ton of black icing color, which is a ton more concentrated than the liquid stuff. And I let them sit in the bag for a little over an hour to ensure that the dye has every chance to get in there. A lot of times, holiday food recipes are super gimmicky and they're edited to look cooler than they are, but I won't even lie to you, these look pretty sick. They look like something I would not eat if I didn't know how they got this way. But I split them all open and popped the yolks into the bowl of my food processor. And yeah, now we can talk about it. Where's the seasoning in this, guys? I know certain groups of people are sometimes picked on for not seasoning food and using too much mayonnaise. Well, if this isn't the perfect encapsulation, I don't know what is. If I'm not mistaken, usually there would be at least salt and pepper, sometimes some smoked paprika, relish, maybe even vinegar or like pickling brine or something, but nope, this is pretty much just mayo, avocados, and egg yolks. As far as looks though, this is pretty much on point with the TikTok. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. This is not something I'm leaping at the opportunity to put in my mouth, but I gotta give it a try anyway. I probably should have washed this, now that I'm thinking about it, considering I just pulled it off the shelf. Who cares? Maybe a little dust is good for you. I mean, there's not a whole lot happening here. It tastes like an egg white, and then mayo and some avocado. Literally anything else in this would make this 100 times better. Any kind of relish or seasoning. I would have to say The only really cool and like impressive part of this is just the look, because like how often do you see something like that you can eat? Otherwise, underwhelming. They just miss so many good opportunities to make this taste like anything. I would recommend that you make them if you're going to a function where people want their breath to smell like eggs. Just add stuff, whether that's relish, cayenne pepper, salt and pepper, smoked paprika, whatever it is. Spooky though, I will give it that. For the final course today, it is Emily Mariko's salmon rice bowl. It has been a very long time since I've seen a recipe go quite this viral. 65 million views is the current count on this thing, and to make it, you will need to grab some soy sauce and Kewpie mayo, salt and pepper, kimchi, an avocado, and some sriracha, leftover white rice, some salmon, nori seaweed, and an ice cube. Obviously, this recipe is for leftovers when you've got some rice and fish in the fridge. I had rice, I did not have fish, so we gotta make some first. Normally I would cook this in a pan, get that skin nice and crispy, but leftover fish is not gonna have crispy skin. So in order to emulate the video as close as possible, I'm gonna bake this, but take the liberty to load it up with a bunch of aromatics and spices. Fresh lemon, garlic, and thyme will be the main sources of flavor here, and I like mine done at about 125 degrees, like medium rare, I think. But just don't tell the government. They want you to cook it until it's 150 degrees and drier than the sole of a boot. When I first got bombarded with this recipe, I was a little bit confused because at its core, it's just white rice and fish. I don't really understand the hysteria. And even with all the views and the likes, there were some pretty funny comments that kind of mirrored my thoughts. These comments are concerning. Why are people so shook by rice and fish? Wait, is this the video people are obsessing about? And my personal favorite, I've been craving this, so I finally had it. Been sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes. Help. I do love the fact that at least half of the time, the TikTok comments are even funnier than the actual video. It's probably why it has me on there scrolling for hours at a time. But as far as the dish, this came out pretty much as you would expect. You mix in your 3 sauces, you finish it with some sliced avocado, some kimchi, and nori sheets. There's gotta be something that I'm missing here. Maybe it's one of those cases where the end product is greater than the sum of its parts. So I am excited to give the third and final course on the day a try. And here it is. In my hand, I am holding 65 million views. It's kind of heavy, actually. I can't even remember the last time I tested something or any food recipe online got that many views. It's really hard to believe. It's pretty good. It tastes like rice and salmon. Maybe with some kimchi. Maybe I'm selling this short. Gotta try with some nori too. I feel like that was probably one of the most appetizing portions of the video. It's really good. I could see myself eating it for lunch or dinner on most days. I'm only ragging on it so much because of how many views it has and how much hysteria it has caused. The way the salmon is shred up is also kind of giving me flashbacks of Rie's little sushi rolls in her bento box, to which she flamed me for how poorly I made them.
David Seymour's video, he made Rie's favorite Japanese recipe, and he was making onigiri. He didn't make that well, I was trying to say nice way.
I probably deserved that one, but I'm just happy to get this one checked off the list. It is good, you should make it. Maybe not freak out and lose your mind over it though.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision. We could make it.